Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Ask Rebecca radio show. Thanks for tuning in here at A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I hope everyone had a great week. The energies coming in have been pretty intense. You could be experiencing some ascension symptoms. And ascension basically means rising to a higher level. And for us, that higher level is a rise in our consciousness. What does consciousness mean? It's the state of being awake and aware of your surroundings, thoughts, actions, and everything in between, right? So you're becoming aware, basically. Things coming online for some of you that you could be experiencing, or you may not be experiencing them just yet. You could just be having some physical symptoms of this, but this is sort of what is happening internally is there's our gifts and abilities are coming online more. So there's experiences of telepathy, seeing things out of the corner of your eyes, or seeing energies in various forms, like from balls of light to flashes or sparks, or everything like little swirling energies. For me, a lot of times it looks like it's raining in the room, but it's not really raining. It's just the energy. Trust me, it can get pretty weird with the things that you can actually see around you. And some possible physical ascension symptoms that you could be experiencing right now are heart palpitations or anxiousness, ear issues like ringing or hearing a low humming sound, body aches and stiffness, blurry vision, light sensitivity, or other kind of phantom vision changes. There's fluctuating body temperature. So 1 minute you might be really hot, the next minute you might be really cold, and it's not, you could also be just dealing with some hot flashes. There's some people are dealing with itchiness, disrupted sleep patterns, fatigue, clumsiness, spaciness, airheadedness, depression, feeling alone, self-doubt, focus on all things negative, hair loss, and a million other things. I could really literally go on and on and on and on, but I won't. But look, these are ongoing issues that people are experiencing, and they're going to continue to grow in intensity. But what I want to say is that if these are like ongoing symptoms for you and you're feeling out of whack, go to the doctor, right? Sometimes ascension symptoms can be mistaken for an underlying medical condition. So make sure that you go get yourself checked out. If you go to the doctor and the doctor says, hey, you know what? Can't figure out what's wrong with you, all your tests are coming back normal, well, then it's more than likely just some ascension symptoms that you're dealing with. They will come and go, and as you integrate the new energies coming in, the symptoms will go away. Then the next phase of galactic energies are coming in, and you're experiencing symptoms all over again. So until the process is complete, just expect this to be happening for many, many years. Okay, so I just wanted to address that since I've had several people reaching out to me about their experiences right now. Tonight, I won't be taking a caller because I'll be doing weekly predictions for this week and next week. I won't be live on air next Thursday since it's my birthday. And I have a feeling that the love of my life will be taking me out. So I didn't want to leave you guys hanging since I've dipped out on you for the last several weeks, a couple of times when I was dealing with my own fatigue issues. So I wanted to make sure that I did this week and next week. And so let's get started because you know me, I'm notorious for going over. So I want to make sure I get everything in. All right, let's get into what you can expect for the week ahead, which runs from tonight through to next Thursday, October 25th. These are general predictions for everyone in areas of love, work, finances, health, and spirituality. So general themes for this week. What I kept getting is things are dissolving. There's a melting away. Not only is that happening on a literal level with, the ice shelf and the planet, there's definitely ice melting. But for some of you, this could be a situation, a relationship, or an old pattern or a habit deep inside of you. Maybe you're always attracting drama and chaos into your life, or you're always trying to fix and solve other people's problems. Perhaps you're a people pleaser, or maybe you need to quit drinking, smoking, or doing drugs, or maybe you eat cheeseburgers every day, all day. So whatever it is that you're dissolving this week, it calls for you to just let it go. Don't try to hold on to it. Don't try to patch things up temporarily. It just needs to be released, removed, and gone out of your life so that you can allow new things and something better to come in for you. Now, some of you may have already gone through this process of purging and letting things go. Some of us started this a long time ago, and we've had to work through all of our dramas. For most of you, things are happening a little more quickly. And I feel like if you've gone through the purging and letting go, then what you may experience is more of a rearranging or a reforming of things in a new way. Now, this week, you're going to need to be strong and persevere. This is especially true for those of you who are going through some really difficult times. Everyone is dealing with emotional stresses, but there are people around the world who are dealing with even more difficult challenges by having to live through war. There's food and water shortages. There's destructive weather and earth changes that have caused people to lose all of their belongings and have completely destroyed their lives. So keep your own dramas in perspective, right? It could always be worse. Be grateful for your situation and focus on changing it for the better through belief that you can. Now, this week, there's also a lot of energy that has it's kind of like bring it on. I'm ready to tackle things. Like many of you are finally done being victims, right? You're done being a victim of your life. You're done being a victim of circumstances. You're taking back your power. You're kicking ass, and you're not worrying about taking names. And many of you are going to be feeling really motivated to get things accomplished and change your situations this week. It's all about action, about making things happen for yourself. You're not sitting around waiting for others to pick you up off the ground. You're picking yourself up and you're pursuing your heart's desires. And those of you who can embrace this energy and get yourselves motivated and moving forward, well, you can expect new opportunities and experiences that are headed your way. Some of them will manifest this week, and some will be a work in progress. So they're not all just going to show up at once, right? Like they will slowly reveal themselves to you. Now, work, for those of you employed, it's going to be a busy work week, and some of you have things that you need to get done. Some of you are filling in for others who are out. I feel like there's going to be people calling out sick, and you might have to pick up the slack, or maybe you're working on a project together with someone and they end up not making it in, and everything is going to kind of fall onto your shoulders. I do feel like most of you will be busy. I kept seeing like busy little beavers working to put the dam up. And so you could be doing all sorts of things that are going to be keeping you busy at work. I even feel like weird, mundane things of all of a sudden your boss is going to be like, hey, I really need you to go over there and vacuum or something. Just weird stuff. Careful though, because the energy is also right for bosses to fire people who are slacking off. So it's kind of this mixed energy. And some of you have been having a rough time at work lately. So I do feel like that eases for you. And I do feel like that's especially true if you realize that the only thing you can control is your attitude and how you feel, right? You have no control over your work situation. You just have control over the choices. So you can choose to come in with a positive attitude, or you can choose to come in with a negative attitude. Or if you just hate your job, you can make a choice of going to find a new job, a better one. Those of you that are unemployed and looking for a job, I see interviews this week. Several of you, I feel, will need to impress your prospective bosses with your can-do attitude and your strong work ethic. So I feel like, you really need to kind of sell yourself, but sell yourself in the way just by being an upbeat, positive individual, like you have a new, fresh, exciting energy to bring into their business, and that can be a welcoming thing. So I feel like that will really get you the job. And again, just talking about the fact that you have a strong work ethic, right? So you will stay late if you need to. If you need to get something done, you'll do what it takes. You're a team player. Now, if you don't have that kind of an attitude and that sort of a work ethic, well, I feel like that's been working against you for a while now, and you know this deep down inside. And I suggest you fake it until you make it, and just work on having that attitude, and also work on finding a job that's better suited to your passion and what you like to do, because a lot of that has to do with maybe slacking off a little bit at work because you're not happy. Love, those of you in committed relationships and dating seriously, this week things could come to a head or to a complete standstill. So it will be the opposite of what's been going on for you. So if you've been fighting and not getting along, this week things will calm down so that you can kick back, kind of take a look at what's been going on, maybe, internalize self-reflection, some realizations happening. That way you can make some choices and decisions about what needs to be done, either to make your relationship work and save it, or maybe realize that it's come to an end and it's time to move on. Now, if you've been avoiding and in denial, or just not working at keeping your relationship happy and healthy, well, things could come to the surface to be addressed, right? So many of us forget that once we get into a relationship, it requires constant work. In the beginning, it's all exciting and it's hot and it's passionate and it's sexy and you're doing all kinds of stuff and you can't get enough of you. And, you're doing all of those amazing things together. Then you get emotionally involved, then insecurities get kicked up, and then the next thing you know, you're like shacked up together, or you're married, and then you stop working at and doing all those things that you did in the beginning. Well, you can't. You have to consistently work and grow together. So if you guys are growing apart, you've got to bring it back together. Okay, those of you that are looking for love, singles, I'm not feeling any like dramatic connections this week. It kind of feels like the usual. You're out there dating. The main thing I'm getting is an opening of your heart, and a realization that you can have a happy, meaningful relationship by just being yourself, right? Like you don't have to give up all the things that you love in order to be in a relationship. You don't have to, turn into the people pleaser and do everything the other person wants. Like you can find that balance. And some of you that are coupled up as well in relationships, I feel like you guys could have a similar realization that, hey, you know what? I'm still allowed to be my own person, my own individual in this relationship. And so many of us lose ourselves in that way. And I don't want that to happen to you guys. So just remember what you love about yourself, what you love about your partner, and, make things happen. Singles, like I said, I kind of feel like it's just a dating week. You're having realizations, you're having fun. And those of you that aren't having fun with the dating process, I feel like you just need to switch up your perception and make it a little more fun. Finances, I just keep getting the lottery, and I think just because here in the U.S., the lottery is up to I think almost $900 million or something like that. So all I kept seeing was lottery tickets, and I feel like everyone is in fantasy mode about winning, and what would you do if you did win, and how would it solve all your problems? And I think that's great and wonderful because it's helping kind of work on manifestation and using your imagination. And there's no harm in dreaming, but don't count on the lottery to fix your problems, right? Even if you did win, money can't buy peace, love, and happiness. And the problems that you have now are problems that will still exist. You might just be able to, fix the roof on your house or not worry about what you have to buy, but it's not going to fill the hole in your heart, right? So that's kind of the energy that's swirling around. Everybody's a little bit in fantasy mode and in denial about their financial situation. I feel like do the work and handle your responsibilities, and more importantly, around finances, cultivate self-esteem. Health, I do feel like action is necessary for some of you. You've been ignoring your health this week. Attitude is super important because some of you are just refusing to let go of what someone said or did to you in the past. You're really holding a grudge. I feel like it's destroying you. I just feel like your insides just being eaten alive from this negative energy. And forgiving someone is for your own benefit. It has absolutely nothing to do with the other person. It's not excusing what they did or didn't do. It's helping you let go and move on. Because I can guarantee you, you're the only one that's sitting around dwelling on this. And whatever the other person did to you, they're probably on about their business and not giving it a second thought. So let it go. Spirituality this week, I feel like it's all about action and getting out there to meet new people, go to new places, try new things, right? Like go eat something you've never eaten or go to a place you'd never go. It's not the week to lock yourself away in quiet meditation or contemplation. Of course, there's nothing wrong if you balance it out. I just feel like getting out, it's going to bring in new knowledge and new experiences. And I just feel like new information is what is strongly needed for some of you right now. So again, that's why I feel like you need to just step out of your comfort zone and gain some new spiritual knowledge through exploration. Okay, so that covers the week of tonight through October 25th, which is next Thursday. Now I'm going to do what you can expect for the week of October 25th to November 1st. These are general predictions for everyone in areas of work, love, finances, health, and spirituality. All right, so for that week, the general themes, I feel like this week will be a turning point, and I feel that especially more towards the end of that week, around November 1st. The energies are shifting, and it's time for a huge breakthrough into something new. And from this point forward, nothing will ever be the same as it was before. And you know, again, this is not something that, it may not manifest all that week where it's like, ta-da, my whole brand new life. No, the one thing that is always happening is we are in constant change, right? Things are always changing. And so you're just going to feel more change, but you're going to feel more of the new coming in. You're going to feel a little less pressure and intensity with the energies. You know, Venus retrograde is getting closer to it. It's like in the midpoint. So I think in the end, it will feel less tense, but you still have some things that you're going through. It'll just lessen with each passing day. Stuff coming up for this week. For some of you, you'll be comparing yourselves to others, what they have versus what you have. You'll become more aware of when you're jealous or envious. Right now or in the past, when you've been jealous or envious, you haven't really noticed it because it's disguised as anger or gossip or trying to like make the other person feel bad about themselves. So resentment, jealousy, and envy are definitely holding you back, and that's something that's going to pop up for you guys. And, you know, when others treat you in the same way, I can just hear some of you saying, you know, oh, well, you know, she's just jealous, or he's just jealous, or they're just envious of, you know, what I got going on. And, you know, if that's something you find yourself saying, well, it's a mirror reflection. You've got the same issue. You're jealous and envious too. And this is stuff that you've got to take a look at in yourself. So now the only instance in this week where I feel like the grass is greener is when you come into harmony in the ultra greater reality, right? You're moving from the world of duality of good, bad, black, white, yin, yang, you know, good versus evil, all of that stuff. and you're experiencing life in higher vibrations. And in higher vibrations, you're in a space of more neutrality. Things are more peaceful, more calm. You're not seeing things in that way. And that is definitely something to be wanting things to be, a little greener. Now, and speaking of grass is greener, I do feel like some of you will be seeing the world around you in a much more enhanced color spectrum that week as well. So the grass may literally look greener to you and the sky much bluer. And again, that's connected to these energies that are coming in and that are opening us up more and expanding our consciousness. So some of you could really experience some states of ecstasy or euphoria, and all without having to do any mind-altering drugs. Like this could happen while you're sleeping or awake. I just feel like some of you are going to have some spiritual experiences that will have your head spinning with whether or not you just imagined what just happened, or if if that really happened. So all I can say is welcome to my world, because it gets pretty weird. And there's always questioning of like, okay, did I really just see that? Did I really just experience that? And yes, you did. But that's what most of you need to experience, because there's a lot of non-believers out there, and that's okay, right? Like, I don't expect people to get what I'm talking about until they experience these things for themselves. So, right now you're living in two different worlds until the old is gone and a thing of the past. Balance is also going to be a big thing this week. You'll see where things are out of balance, and you'll also learn how to balance them. I also see someone walking on a tightrope or a balance beam. So maybe some of you have children in gymnastics or something, and you decide you're going to give the balance beam a go, and hopefully you'll nail it. This week there also will be some disappointments, pain, and sorrow. I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but there could be some difficulties. And some of you have been dealing with this kind of an energy for a while, and some more recently. Lots of people are passing away and transitioning to the other side. I know I've had lots of people reach out to have to see if they can make contact. If you want to book an appointment with me, feel free. I'm on a roll right now. So, let's do it. Let's see if we can talk with some of your loved ones. But look, the people that are passing away right now, they're just not meant to stay here during these intense energy shifts that we're experiencing and going through. They made a sacrifice for their and your spiritual growth during this time. And some of them are, helping from the other side. Some of them are just didn't want to participate in what's happening right now. So I do see some of you dealing with the stages of grief, some from losses of loved ones, and some from situations that are changing in your lives. There's endings. So it doesn't necessarily revolve around death. It revolves more around like relationships coming to an end or situations coming to an end that have you feeling sad. All right. So allow yourself to feel any pain and then do your best to move on. Work, for those of you employed, work will be going smoother this week for most. You'll be feeling balanced and prepared. However, some of you won't be feeling this way, which could lead you to misunderstandings, assuming things, and being sensitive. Or it could be others that are misunderstanding you and assuming things about you and being insensitive, or they're being overly sensitive when you say something and they take it the wrong way. So I do see a few situations where insults are being hurled at each other. So, keep calm. Don't engage in that sort of behavior because it's just not worth it. Work, for those of you that are looking for a job, I feel like I just feel like some new jobs this week, which is fantastic. So more power to you. I think like some of you guys are really going to get jobs that you really like. Love, those of you in committed relationships and dating seriously, things could be feeling more balanced for some of you this week, while others are just beginning to notice the imbalances in their relationships. If you've been watching my show, you know that we're still in Venus retrograde, which is all about relationship baggage coming to the surface. So some of you will be ending relationships this week while others are dealing with misunderstanding, sadness, and sorrow. Those of you looking for love, some of you singles will be dealing with the same. You could be feeling more balanced and ready for a relationship. Some of you will be dealing with past relationship traumas, which bring up sadness and sorrow. Misunderstandings can happen as well. For the most part, you're all healing your hearts big time, and depending on your experiences, it can feel intense. And I also feel for some of you, there is already someone who's a part of your life who would be a very good fit for you. So don't judge a book by its cover, and give them a chance to in your life, because you could be pleasantly surprised. And I'm going to start talking faster because I'm running out of time. Finances. Money feels balanced, or at least ebbing and flowing. Some of you are in the ebb while others are in the flow. I do feel like there's room for improvement this week for everyone with a little extra effort. Some of you will experience anxiety around money or constant worry this week. Health, anxiety is what I'm feeling. Some of you deal with major anxiety and it's taking a toll on your health. You can control anxiety by talking about it and getting to the root cause of your anxiety. And that's typically fear about something. This is a great week to do some energy work, get your body balanced, your chakras, and spirituality. I see some spiritual partnerships this week. It feels like with just one other person, not multiple people. And I do feel like everything begins and ends with you. So get real about what you feel, think, believe, want, and need. If you want love, give it to yourself. If you want happiness, create it for yourself. So I gotta go. I hope everybody has a fantastic 2 weeks, and I'll see you on the 1st. Bye.